All right, here we go. It is time. And I have been pondering this, frankly, for quite a while. And I say that because I have been as high as anybody and building up the hype train and thinking about what Cal's first season under Tosh Lupoi is going to be. I believe that the reason their win total, according to our friends at FanDuel, is 6.5. And the reason I believe it is that low for a team that was 7-5 in the regular season last year is because part of the way that these analytical matrices come up with numbers like a team's win total is they are assessing a coaching staff. And so if there's a staff that they particularly like, they will set the number higher because they know that that staff is going to get value there. And they don't have a way to grade Tosh Lupoi because, well, he's never been a head coach before. And in his first game, he's going up against somebody also in year one, also with a formerly highly rated quarterback that he inherited in Nico Iamaleava at UCLA, Bob Chesney being that guy. Bob Chesney has coached games. He won a conference championship last year. Now, is Tosh Lupoi qualified to be a head coach? Yeah, of course. He's been an assistant and a coordinator for a very long time. He worked under Dan Lanning at Oregon for the last several years. It's not as if he isn't capable. I just think that's where the low win total is coming from relative to my expectations and the schedule, which has one funky part, but overall, I think works out pretty well for the Golden Bears. At least that's what I'm telling myself. So, this is my first official one. The first one I did last year was an under because North Carolina was my favorite under of the year. That one, of course, hit. I nailed 58% of my over-under predictions last year, and I did almost every single Power 4 team and many Group of 6 schools as well. That will be the same this year. Cal is number one. And I'm going over 6.5. And I thought about it because not with the game by game, but just as I went through the schedule, I just thought to myself, what's the reason? What is the fundamental reason that you would look at the season they had last year, the quarterback they have returning, the transfer portal class they brought in, which has a bunch of really good talent. I mean, they're surrounding JKS with legit weapons here. Receivers, a running back in Adam Muhammad who's really good, a super talented tight end coming from the Group of 6 ranks. He's going to have the ability to score a lot of points. And JKS, who hit a bit of a freshman lull midseason last year, is unbelievably talented. And I believe Tosh Lupoi keeping him at Cal is the best recruiting victory he has had to date. This comes on the heels, by the way, speaking of recruiting, of Miles Baker flipping from Cal to UCLA. Well, guess what? This is no longer the Calamoni Bowl in week 1. This is the Miles Baker Revenge Bowl for Cal. So week 1, they play UCLA. FanDuel's got this as Cal minus 1.5 at home. I'm going with the Bears. I think Tosh Lupoi is going to have a packed stadium behind him. He's going to have a lot of juice from that fan base. I like JKS more than I like Nico. I like that they're at home. It's not a super long trip. This should be a tight competitive game. I'm going with the Bears. Next week, I don't think that they've gotten all of the Cal out of them, so to speak. I'm taking them to lose to Syracuse week 2. This is going to be one of the most undervalued teams in the ACC in Syracuse. If they get Steve Angeli healthy over there, Fran Brown knows what he is doing. Long trips in the ACC are hard. And I think that what Cal is going to be able to do in these games is not likely to determine the rest of their season. It'll tell us how far they still have to go. And Cal has been my ACC dark horse all offseason, and I'm sticking with that here. Over 6.5. How far? Keep listening to find out. They play Wagner the following week. That's an FCS opponent. They'll be fine. This is new Cal. So I don't think they're getting through September undefeated. But this is the game that I debated the most. And because it's on a Friday, give me Cal Madness to beat Clemson at home. There is nothing about Clemson except for the name brand power of the Tigers and Dabo Swinney that leads me to believe they're going to be significantly better than Cal this year. Dabo Swinney as a head coach is someone who I'm grading as low as anybody in all the Power Four after last year's debacle. He's got a new quarterback. He lost 9 players to the NFL draft. They added some players in the portal, but they didn't add guys that are coming in to make a massive impact right away. They added players, some guys that didn't even log 200 snaps last season at their previous stops. I am not high on Clemson. I did that last year. Fool me once. I'll take Cal to win that game. They play at UNLV. Huge game for the group of 6 in week 5. Give me the Bears. I think Cal's ahead roster-wise of Virginia Tech, who's further along than some might think. Va Tech actually has a higher win total than Cal. According to FanDuel, there's 7.5. I think Cal wins that game. They play Wake Forest at home. This is the favorable stretch. In a 4-week span against legit teams, 3 ACCs and a top-tier group of 6, they play 3 games at home. And the only one on the road is UNLV, the weakest opponent of the group. Now, Clemson, Virginia Tech, and Wake Forest are all going to be good teams. So would it shock me if they lost any of those games? No, it would not. Week 8, this is when things get difficult. They have to go at SMU. They have to go at NC State. They have a bye, then they go at Virginia. They're going to play a full month without a single home game after an entire month stretch in which they play 3 home games and don't go as far east as Las Vegas. So this is the difficult part to me. I think they lose to SMU. I think they're a better team than NC State. So I think they win that game on the road in week 9. Then they have their bye, and then they go on the road to Virginia. I'm going to take the Cavaliers in that spot. Virginia's got continuity from their ACC runner-up team a year ago. They're not as sure who they're going to be who they're going to have at quarterback. Maybe it's Bo Pribula, and maybe it is not. Maybe it's Eli Holstein, the Pitt transfer. We'll have to wait and see. But by that point in time, week 11, they're going to know. They will have fully integrated, whoever that will be, or maybe they can run the rarely seen and successful 2-quarterback system. So I'll take Cal to lose that game to Virginia and then pick up a couple of wins at the end of the year against Stanford in the rivalry game. Roster-wise, I think they are way ahead of the Cardinal. They're ahead of the Cardinal at quarterback, and I'll take them to beat Pitt as well. And Pitt is generally a program, at least over the last several years, that starts hot, fades a little bit at the end. They did that last year as well. I think they started 7-2. Pretty sure they ended up 7-5, if memory serves. But that puts Cal at 9-3. And look, this is a lot of faith in Tosh Lupoi. But the last assistant coach that left Dan Lanning to go be a head coach, Kenny Dillingham went 3-9 in year 1. He was inheriting a disastrous situation. Tosh Lupoi is not. So I'm putting faith in him as a head coach. I'm putting faith in Jaron Kiave-Sangapolotele, who is one of the best quarterbacks in the ACC, maybe the best, quite frankly. He could become the best this year. Darian Mensah at Miami, formerly at Duke, obviously in that conversation as well. I've got Cal going over 6.5. I couldn't do it any other way. 9-3 official 2026 predictions are underway here on Locked On College Football. Appreciate everyone listening. I will see you next time. And until then, hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.